So none of us bought a Pigby shirt.
I don't know.
Are you gonna wear it?
Aye. No, but just like as a fucking t-shirt. Same with Tam, man. It's just a comfy t-shirt.
It's his wanking t-shirt.
It's this Tam's the suit
If
t-shirt.
I saw you wearing a t-shirt with your own face on it,
what would you do? But kiss it. Wank about games.
Hello, the sun is shining. It's a beautiful summer's evening. Welcome to part 2. I'm Ryan McLeod.
I'm Guy Woodward.
I'm Barry Topping.
And I'm Richie Morgan.
Who?
Richie Morgan.
In part 2, we're going to be talking about the video games. It'll be me and Barry talking about the video games, because in part 1 you heard from Richie and Guy.
Hope everyone's been keeping their pubes in control since.
Have you?
Did my best.
Have you? Leave a comment if you haven't been keeping your pubes in control, and we'll give you some tips and hints.
Richie will be irate though. Get the pubes off. Get them off.
Where should everybody dispense of their pubes once they've taken them off?
Should they put them in an envelope? Maybe send them. I can give you Richie's address. I'm going to send them to.
Tell people my address.
Look, these pubes need to go somewhere, man.
That's
That's the thing, like...
What do you do with yours? Is there a guy that you know with a van that comes round and just throws the bin bags into the back of his van?
Make scarecrows out of them.
Just the music playing. Oh, I need to go get my pubes there.
The pube van.
Homemade cushions.
Is that just a plug for?
Come to the Morgan Farm Shop. Everything made out of pubes. Oh, we tote bag made out of pubes.
It's interesting.
Fresh
Jumper.
eggs.
What's the
Fresh
texture?
eggs
It's
made out of
sort of
pubes.
familiar. Fresh eggs.
Those are really nice slippers.
This black pudding's really chewy.
Oh dear.
So, part 2, Barry, what have you been playing?
An old one, but I recently started playing Killing Floor again. Quite an old game for those of you that don't know it. Started off its life in 2005. It was originally an Unreal Tournament 2004 mod. And since then I think it's had over 100 updates, to the point where they're still updating it now. So an old game, but one that I got back to recently, and that is partly because of the amount of new content they always add for it, and also just because for me it's one of those games that has a lot of replayability, and for me those games are cooperative online shooters.
I don't think I've any idea what this game is.
I'm going to tell you.
I'd never heard of it until you guys all started playing it with
Is this are these official updates from the...
They are. I mean, it started off its life as an Unreal
It's a bit
mod.
like Daisy, innit? It kind of became its own...
Well, the best way to describe it...
Beyonce's husband.
Luck away.
Alright, so the best way to describe Killing Floor is it's a cooperative wave shooter. You alright? You still laughing at Jai's head there?
Jay-Z peeps. Sorry.
No, Jeezy's peeps. We can't crack that joke yet. We need the right time.
Right.
You know, there's a rapper called Young Jeezy.
Aye.
We're saying like his crew, Jeezy's peeps.
Do they not call fucking Chris Thingy Jeezy?
Nah, Breezy.
No, he's breezy.
Fucking one of the easies.
Wheezy's Lil Wayne, Breezy's Chris Brown,
Who's that? What? Why?
and Kanye's Yeezy.
Barry's collectively known as Greasy. That's an old down. That's a total old
Dick
down.
man.
You fucking watch it, man. I'll smash you.
Barry and Richie are both having a beer. Start to feel a wee bit on edge. Yes, mate.
Sorry.
Don't you ever.
Just calm down. Calm down.
What was I even talking
Killing
about?
Floor.
Killing Floor. I can best describe Killing Floor as it's a co-op FPS. You kill zombies, a bit like Left 4 Dead. The main difference being it's a wave shooter rather than, you know how Left 4 Dead is like an A to B, an objective kind of thing. The way Killing Floor works is you start off in your team of 4 or 6 or 10 or however many, and then you're assailed by waves of zombies, Zeds as they're called, that are like kind of not like virus infected humans. They're like kind of lab created specimens, like monsters. So after every wave, you go to a part of the map where there's a trader, and you can buy weapon upgrades. So like at the end of every wave you'll have money, and then at the end of the next wave you'll have more money and more money. And as the waves progress they get harder and you get more and more money, so you can buy bigger and better weapons. And then at the end of the last wave you fight a boss called the Patriarch, and that's basically all there is to the gameplay.
So when the waves are coming, are you in a city environment?
There are a lot of maps. One of the best things about it is, besides the official maps, that like the tripwire ones, there are a lot of good community maps as well. Like we played on Ganja Farm. We played on Ganja Farm. It was pretty good.
The weed.
But
what do the zombies want the weed for?
Because they want to blaze it, man. Why else? Just because you're a zombie doesn't mean you can't party.
Surely that would be everybody's benefit, though, if the zombies just chilled out and go.
No, because the girl's going to say,
fair enough.
That gameplay lends itself to different play styles, though, and as far as there are some maps which, like Ganja Farm, which are based around one sort of central point, that you just really have to hold, if you know what I mean. Because some maps are a lot bigger, a lot more open, and you go from point to point. The way there's like 5 or 6 trader points around the map, and at the end of the wave it'll tell you how far away you are from the trader, so you have a certain amount of time to get to the trader, buy gear, and then find a good place to sort of set up for the next wave. So there are maps like that, but then there are ones like Ganja Farms that are based around a kind of central fortress, and you kind of have to hold that, which is a lot of fun.
So when the waves come, are you moving a bit much, or have you just set up a stronghold?
It's better to hold, I think.
Aye. What was that one? That fortress that we did?
Aye, stronghold at the top of the tower.
We went to the top of a tower,
Like
so all there was a spiral staircase to come up, and there was like 6 of us there, and we were just blasting fuck out anything that reared its head around these stairs. And then you had to get back down to the trader. That was good fun.
That was what killed us. It's like you can go at a really great strategic vantage, but you still have to get to the trader to refill your ammo and stuff. So that's what fucked us in the
We were
end.
risking like wee falls and like losing nearly all your health just to get
back down to the trader.
And you fell out through the well in the first wave as soon as it started?
Aye.
But
I was
it
like,
just disappeared down a well?
Because it was a new map, and you start all your players are around a well, and I was like, I wonder if you can go down the indeed, instantly dead, which was good. But you can split up, but generally the minute you split up, you're fucked, because the enemies, the spawning pattern kind of almost undulates at points, in terms of it's a constant stream of enemies, but after every wave the amount of enemies increases, and if there are 10 players in the game, there's more enemies per wave, if that makes sense.
Right.
But the way it builds up the difficulty is that every sort of second wave another monster is introduced, all the way up to ones like, there's just the regular kind of zombie ones. There's a zombie one with a big sword arm, there's a guy with a chainsaw, and then there's the flesh pound, which is like the hardest one. That's like a big kind of, he's got big things on it, big metal fists, and he beats you to death and shit, to the point where like on later waves you'll get like 2 of them spawning at the same time. So if you're separated, you really are.
You need
really
all your
are.
pals there, so as soon as you see it, you can all just chuck a grenade at it. Do it instantly.
One of the best things about Killing Floor is a kind of a strange side mechanic, is the ability to weld doors. Like every closable door you can weld shut using your welder tool, and basically it has a damage percentage, so you can keep zombies out indefinitely until there's enough of them there to kind of take down the door in a few hits. So that can lead to like welding your mates outside of rooms.
I get welded out a few times.
Which is pretty good.
Cheers.
No worries, man. But it also means that you can let enemies build up and then kind of have a foolish yet enjoyable
It's quite
finale.
fun though. When you let like 30 of them blast in a door and these are all just waiting. That's quite good. or when it's like you know the door's about to burst and there's 3 of you welding one door.
There's
You're
a
like,
thing.
oh fuck! And you can see your percentage going up and then immediately coming down because
There's this thing called Z time as well, which is like a kind of slow motion thing when you get enough headshots, I think, where it slows down for everyone and then you can kind of. So that's all the gameplay mechanics, but a few other nice additional things is there's a class system as well, and each class has a different weapon set and different proficiencies. Like there's Berserker, which is like a melee class, there's a medic class, there's like a support specialist class, which has like an affinity with shotguns and door welding. Then there's Firebug, which is the class I play as, which is like flamethrowers and kind of flame revolvers and stuff. So there's a bunch of classes too. There's also a lot of characters, which is kind of the only real cynical part of Killing Floor.
Aye.
Is because it's so old, there's a lot of DLC, and it's not cheap, it's like £7 for 3 weapons.
How does the main game work? Is it a subscription thing or?
No, it's just...
Sit, buy it and play it.
It's cheap as well.
You
which
can buy
is,
a server if you want more players. I think, is it 5 maximum on a normal?
No, you can get 10 on a normal server.
I thought you had to have your own one to...
No,
I
not at
didn't
all.
realise.
So there are a lot of characters. The characters are basically just reskins.
Aye.
But I mean, you don't need to buy them. You don't need to buy the weapons. It's like the DLC weapons aren't obviously more powerful.
There's that much
No.
as well, see, because it uses Steam Workshop.
Aye.
The amount of stuff people have made themselves for it, and you just...
Yeah, there
download
are community weapon packs and stuff as well. I think the weapons that got into the community weapon pack, the people that made those weapons get some of the money back to them too,
Alright,
which is pretty cool as well. There's a lot of content though, which is good. But in terms of its longevity, every summer they do a summer event, which is the one we were doing now. They added a thing recently called objective maps, which instead of like being a wave shooter, it's more like Left 4 Dead. You go from point A to point B. So, I mean, that was pretty cool that they added that to like an 8-year-old.
Was carrying nitroglycerin, so their character was much slower.
Right.
So it was like, kind of, right, everybody protect this person they knew while we try and get...
So I mean, like 7-8 years into the life cycle of the game, they added a new mode to it, which is like cool.
Yeah.
So they do a summer event, they do a Halloween event, and they do a Christmas event. The Christmas event's probably my favourite because all the enemies are reskinned to be Christmas themed. Like the crawlers are reskinned as reindeer, which is pretty good. And the Patriarch has a Santa hat on in that. It's good. It's good.
That's good fun.
It sounds like it has that kind of Left 4 Dead vibe. The thing that I loved about Left 4 Dead was that every time you played it, there was a lot of just hilarious or kind of quite cinematic experiences that were just generated out of the randomness of the game.
I think you improve the game.
Yeah.
Do you know, if you know what I mean. Like when you've got the right group of people as well,
Aye.
you just have a good laugh.
That's cool.
It really. I'd recommend anyone that wants to play it and maybe hasn't just to get it. You can play it once because we've been playing it quite a lot recently. It's really, really good, and you can download. Like a lot of stuff, like Guy was saying, for the Steam Workshop. Like I think Guy downloaded. What was it? A Nazi?
I was playing as a sexy Nazi woman, right? Just best thing was they couldn't see it because they didn't download her.
Right.
So
Imagine that.
I had to let them believe that I was, and it made more sense because it's how she felt when they
Right.
saw her.
See.
A sexy
A
Nazi.
You can imagine the fucking jokes that get thrown at me.
And do the,
So you
do
told
the
everyone
Nazis
that
get a cut of that money that you fight for? That's pretty shocking.
Sexy Nazi.
So, please give Killing Floor a shot if you're into co-op shooters and you
How much
haven't
is it?
given it. It's quite cheap. It's like
It's usually gone for a couple of quid in some sale.
you can pick it up in the sale for as
It'll
little
always show
as
up
$3
on
or
a Steam
$4.
sale. Get it this Christmas.
Because I mind you were complaining about how we never invited you to play, and then I was like, "Come and play, Ryan," and you're like, "Nah."
Was it no? I think you invited me to play Mario Kart, but I'm not falling for that dirty. Because that game's bullshit.
I remember going on Twitter one day and there was just a tirade from Ryan about how Mario Kart was all just it was just completely random and
Yeah,
the
It's all
items.
part of the fun.
That's no fucking.
You just
fun.
got to get good enough to beat the system, man.
You can't
I
beat the
used-
system. It doesn't let you beat the
See,
system.
I used to think that, but then if that was the case, then I might win against Barry every so often. But I never ever do. Maybe once every 100 games.
I would say I'm not as good at Mario Kart 8 as I was at Mario Kart 7.
I think that's
But
just
you
because you have a
can't-
lot of time with it.
So. The system's better balanced, to be honest.
Aye.
See, don't count that as better balanced. If it was well balanced, you could become brilliant, I thought. But you can't, it won't let you.
I remember the Wii
balance
one
is
at that-
off. I think
I remember the balance was way off on the Wii one, and that's kind of why I just stopped.
at least they change the balance every time. So it's,
Yeah.
you have to find new. You can't just have a blanket
You're not
strategy
just gonna be
that you
brilliant
can
at this
apply to
one,
all
you're
Mario
brilliant at
Kart
this
games.
one.
The problem with Mario Kart 8 is if you're in second place, you are absolutely fucked. Because you can't get the guy in front of you, but everyone behind you
Aye.
can fuck you up. Buy Killing Floor. Go and buy Killing Floor. Come and play with me and Guy and Ryan. And
If it's £2, I'm in.
I had a bunch of.
$2.50, I'm out.
I'm constantly fucked because I've got a Mac.
You can play Killing Floor on the Mac.
Can you know? I was just thinking about that there because I was trying to remember what games that I'd been playing, and I had a shot at Blade Runner, the old
Oh, the point and click
Windows
one.
version that I had a bit of trouble getting running, but now I have managed to get it. But how I get Blade Runner working on Windows 7 is to use VirtualBox, which is just like a program that runs an old operating system inside Windows 7. So I would have thought you would be able to get something like that for Macs. That would
Well, everyone's
just,
always talking about what's that? About having some kind of dual boot system so that I can have Windows on the Mac, but that would mean installing Windows on my Mac.
I suppose for
alongside
up to date games you would need one.
Boot Camp.
That's the one.
Boot
Oh,
Camp.
is that what it is?
There are Killing Floor. Get Killing Floor. It's on there. You can play it with us. We can have a game tonight. We can do a fucking LAN up here.
LAN party.
LAN party. We should host a LAN party. Gamewank LAN party. Alright, fine. Fuck you.
I'd have a LAN party. I've never been to a LAN
the
party.
look on
The
Ryan's
closest-
face there is the thought of having to talk to other people.
The closest I've ever been to a LAN party is when my brother used to hook up all the Xboxes to play Halo 1. And I would get beaten
You just
8
happened to
times.
be in the house.
I got beaten 8 times and then I just stopped playing it. Like 8 times and no kills on anyone. That was fucking dreadful.
I give Destiny a shot, Richie.
Buy a PS4.
So that's about all I've been playing, to be honest. I'm finding it hard to find the time. But I mean, that's when you do have time, I think you want to play with your mates.
Aye.
You know, it's Killing Floor really captures the same feeling that you get from playing a game like Left 4 Dead. Only instead of 4 of you, there's like 6 of you or 8 of you or 10 of you. So
No, that's good.
aye, it's great. It's of all my Steam games, it's the one I put the most time in. I've easily put more than 100 hours in it since buying it 3-4 years ago. So
You're entering my world now. That world of like, Barry, why have you not played any fucking games? It's not that I didn't want to.
It's just share my room, man.
It's just another couple of the old branches of Gamewank, just withering off and dying.
if videogamer.com's listening, you're looking for any more staff? Put the band back together. Right, so Ryan, what have you been playing?
Well, can
recently?
you ask me with a bit more enthusiasm?
Right, okay, I'll try again.
Jesus.
Ryan,
I can ask you.
do you want me to ask you?
I go, Richie, you ask me.
Ryan, what have you been playing recently?
Fuck off.
I'll do it again. I'm not.
Alright, you want, I'm having a look.
I want to do it.
Cutting the sound of you leaving.
So, Ryan, mate, what have you been playing recently, mate?
Well, Barry, mate. Last night I finished The Darkness 2, which was out 2 years ago. So, nobody
Sorry,
wants
I
to
was
hear
talking
about that.
about Uncharted in the last episode, so...
That's true.
It's taken you 2 years to complete it.
No, I bought it in the Humble Bundle just last week,
Yeah, good.
and I paid $1.
Yes.
Because that's the
TV's
rules.
Ryan McLeod.
That's the rules. That's legal.
Is that money no go to charity?
Huh?
Is that no charity?
Fucking
money?
hope no.
Yeah, refund. Fucking shit.
What? That's fine. 60 odd pence. But I had to look up.
Fuck's sake.
Well, they made the rules, so it's not my fault.
It's like the
I'm
suggested
not doing anything
donation.
wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong here.
Break the rules. If I'd paid, I think if I'd paid $7 or $8, I could have got BioShock Infinite as well.
Was it the minimum Was that the minimum payment?
Aye.
Oh, right, okay.
You have 2 tiers with a Humble Bundle. You can pay the minimum amount, and if you pay up to like $7 or $8, you get another game.
Right, okay.
And then if you pay like $20, you get another game.
I see.
But they're kind of like newer games. But I could have got Bioshock Infinite, but I didn't.
It's surprising how cheap you see Bioshock Infinite going for.
It's
Like, you
gone
always
for-
see that.
Last time it was on Steam, it was £6.
Aye, that bundle goes for like a 10 or something.
I think it's because it's shite.
No. Did you know Here It was the best?
Is it?
It was an important game.
Oh, sorry.
Changed the
I must
industry.
Be, must be thinking of something else.
Change the industry.
Well, it did with Pat Troy Baker and everything. He's a good voice
I remember
actor.
the industry before Bioshock Infinite. It was, actually, I can't even remember. What was it like?
Is anything big getting made here now? Rockstar still is here, I suppose.
No,
No, not really.
All Points Bulletin.
Fuck's sake.
Calling it by its Sunday name, like, as well.
APB, sorry. They're kind of on the way out at the moment as well. Again,
What do you mean?
Who
To
made
the pub.
APB?
it was Real Time Worlds, and then they went under just as it launched, and then someone else
Just
took
as it launched.
someone else took it over.
Still running, isn't it?
Well, it was. I think
It got
was relaunched as
pretty, it got
something
pretty
else.
posthumously
Free to play.
popular.
I've played it a bit, but it kept fucking crashing on me, so I gave up. It's one of the ones that's full of daft customization.
I think, yeah, I think it's probably sort of running out of steam again. So, but anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Darkness 2.
Yeah, starts to.
So I played, I was telling people, I remember playing the first one and enjoying it, and then I had to have a think, and then I had to go back onto YouTube and look at Consolvania for 2006 to see what I actually said about Darkness 1, but no, it turns out I did. I like the first one. The second one's completely different. I mean, there's like a good few years between them. There was like 4 years between first and second game. So it's a completely reworked look to it. So it's still an FPS, obviously, and you still have the darkness powers, but you have a skills tree that you can buy skills and specialise in certain areas. I felt as if I'd taken the cheap way out of it because I was pumping up the dark power there, the darkness powers. So I was able to create black holes and stuff like that. And it seemed quite powerful when I was using it, but maybe the other skills would be quite powerful as well. But in terms of the story, it kind of felt like nothing much happened in it. Your Jackie Estacado,
Aye.
is that his name? He's head of the mafia, and he's like flipping it. So sometimes he wakes up in a loony bin, and you don't know why, what's happening in there. But all the characters for the games, like all his flunkies, are like patients and members of staff. And there's another character who I can't remember the name of, who's trying to steal the darkness from Jackie.
The guy with the fucked up face.
Aye, that's his name. But I think back to it, I'm not sure that an awful lot happened in it, but I really enjoyed it. It was really. There was a section in the first Darkness game where I can't even remember how it came about, but you ended up in.
You died, didn't you? You died.
Was
you
it?
shot yourself.
Oh fuck!
Suicide
So he
mission.
did. So he did.
Aye.
And he woke up in like hell, and it was like a battlefield, like a World War One battlefield, and there was soldiers running about without faces and stuff, and weird kind of upside down crucifixes and massive kind of rusted iron Nazi trains and stuff like that. And it was brilliant. It was really well designed and well drawn. But the second one didn't really have anything like that. I had otherworldly sections, but they were kind of quite colourful and unusual looking. But
I think the comic book look kind of ruined the set piece.
aye,
But if anything they tried to go for, it just looked a bit. I mean, it's still a nice looking style in the Darkness 2, but I think I preferred the first one.
the first one was grittier. I
Aye,
think.
aye.
I mean, it was an
It
obvious-
felt more violent, I think. See, because it wasn't like. Because it is cell shaded, you get that cartoon blood kind of look. It didn't feel as if you were doing quite as horrible.
There's another thing I was going to
things.
say about the combat. It sounds like another criticism. I did like the game, but it didn't really feel like it had any weight to it. It was like you were just swatting people an awful lot. And there was like really vicious things you could do to enemies, like grab them and tear them apart in front of you and
You don't get
decapitate
points for that, you know.
Aye,
Like
you did.
specific points for how bad it is.
but none of it really felt, because you were doing it so often, it didn't feel like it really carried any weight. But I think it was an obvious style choice that they'd made, because there was things like, you mind in when he woke up in the asylum, in his cell, on his bedside cabinet, there was copies of the comic, of the Darkness comics and things like that. So it doesn't take itself too seriously in the game.
That's what I think was the big difference. So, like, I've not read the comic, I don't actually know anything about it, but I'm wondering if when they've went for the comics art style for the second one, I thought maybe is the comic a bit more light-hearted than the first game was.
Could be.
Because the first game was totally serious. There was no... The slightest bit of comedy came for your wee minions, because one of them's got a daft English accent, but that was it. But I know what you mean, it felt kind of that wee nudge. Oh, we're in a game. The comic.
But no, it had loads of nice wee and I even liked the loading screens. It was just him, Jackie, sitting
like in a chair in the dark,
and he told you wee stories for his
voice.
childhood.
That is not the voice of a 21-year-old man.
Aye, well,
and his face,
is he meant to be 21?
He's meant to be 21.
Right.
Jackie Estacado. It's my 21st birthday. It's fucking ridiculous.
What, he's a mafia boss at 21?
No, he's no, it's your Uncle Paulie that runs it. He's Fiat. You're going to take it.
That's all right. Aye.
Spoilers.
But there was an awful lot to like about it. The end felt a bit rushed. It threw all these new enemies and weapons and stuff at you at the end. Which
am I right in thinking? I remember a friend of mine, I can't remember if it was Darkness 1 or Darkness 2, but I remember someone laying a criticism towards it that the ending sort of whatever happens at the end, it's a bit of a cutscene, and you feel like you should be playing the ending rather than watching it. Did you get it, or is it? Am I thinking of the first one?
I can't actually remember the end of the Darkness one.
There's like a whole sequence that feels like you should be, like something cool happens and you're like, I kind of want to be playing this, but it's just showing me.
For what I remember of the first and second ending, there's no really anything interactivity with it added other than you could control the camera. There wasn't really any hands-on.
Yeah, it's totally second-hand information as well.
Sitting back watching it.
Fair enough.
it gives you the Darkness 2 gives you a choice at the end, and there's an obvious right choice and a wrong choice. You can choose what you know to be a false reality, or you can finish the game properly. And just to see what happened, I chose the false reality, and it did just end the game. It just went, all right, you're living a lie.
I love that the idea that some people might have just left
it.
That'll do me.
But luckily, I went back in and finished it properly. And the end, it kind of leaves it completely open. Something big happens again, and it leaves it open for a third one. And I hope they make it, because they're really good fun to play.
So worth $1 then?
Yeah, I suppose.
Both those games were last gen, weren't they?
Aye.
As in Darkness 1
I might
was.
have to play it again. I'll play it
Every so often it
shot.
really hits
I
home
enjoy
how long the last gen.
Oh, and it's got.
Really enjoyed the first one.
I haven't
like
played
the
them, but it
missions
seems to
and
have
that.
other missions that you can play through once you finish the
It's
story.
got, you play as a stereotypical Scotsman, a stereotypical Asian, a woman.
There's a voodoo guy in it that I play this.
They have like their own wee mini campaigns, but it's not really any story to it. It's just you going through levels that have been in the game.
Oh, right, okay.
And you seem to always end up in this junkyard fighting hundreds of folk. It's alright, but it's just...
There's DLC as well, but I don't know anything about it.
Is there?
Well, there wasn't a menu system.
Oh, I
anyway.
need to check that.
25 cents.
I'll think about it. But aye, it's really good fun, and really well paced, and it doesn't leave you sitting a bit, and it's good. Well worth the money.
Can you get it for Mac?
No.
Sorry, Richie.
You could probably buy it on a console at least. Not for $1 though, not for £67.
I saw it up in GeForce for a couple of quid.
It's not $1 though, is it? The guy in Robocop didn't say, I'd buy that for a couple of quid.
I'd buy that. Wait, how much does a tea cake cost?
What else?
Tonics.
Tunnock's tea cakes. We need a tagline. Tunnock's tea cakes. Richie and Morgan can fit 50 of them in his mouth.
Tea cakes. Cakes about tea. Do you ever have a dream that there's just like a big swimming pool filled with mallow? It's got a thin chocolate skin over it, and you just jump into it.
It just flops onto it and slowly melts through the chocolate.
We try to come up with Tonic's taglines. What about I'm away for a tonic.
That's not bad.
I'm away for a tonic. It's good.
I'm away for a caramel.
That's quite good. I like that.
Right. Anyway,
On Valiant Hearts as well.
Tell us.
That's a wee bit. It's a wee bit.
is that the war one with the dog?
The First World War one, that Guy Woodward was pissing himself laughing at the war deads during E3.
Fucking disgusting.
Plays a Nazi and all. That's just fucking
A sexy.
A sexy Nazi.
That's true.
That's rubbing
An
it in.
erection-inducing Nazi.
It's the worst kind of stunner. Born of evil.
Nothing good
Stoner
can
born
come
of war atrocities.
Aye, First World War. Everybody swears by it. 10 out of 10s. Thought it was all the shite.
Well, that's frank.
Is that because of the juxtaposition of, like, I'm a wee cartoon dog, and then a real picture of a soldier who's missing half his face?
What? Is that in it?
Has real pictures and then, like, wee stories? Or, like,
Wee
maybe, like,
background
is it
stories.
diary entries or something for real people? Or is it just, like, info?
No, it's just like history.
Ah, there's one, it's like a soldier, black guy in this blue gear, and he's just got fucking half his face blown off. Games.
This.
Pudding? Achievement.
I didn't. I mean, it'd probably be different for a lot of other people. Younger people probably
It's like
would
cry.
learn more from it. Know that there's a huge amount to learn from it, but I felt as if it wasn't telling me anything new. So
Is it puzzles? Is it? It's not
Kinda.
combat of any kind, is it? No.
the game.
Was there no
No.
combat?
No, I think it's just more like.
I thought it was like a kind of Castle Crashers kind of thing.
What I think we were talking about that. It just looked at the same kind of
But there was no combat.
style, but no.
It's just like a really, really, really easy point and click. But
Is
it's
it wanting
too.
to tell a story, but it doesn't want
Aye.
to be an animated film, so it had to be a game?
Aye, right.
Well, why do folk love it so much then?
And it
Because
doesn't.
you
It
go
doesn't
to-
want. You
you go to
don't.
sad-
It doesn't want you to have
It's
too
war.
much fun.
I
You
think
can
Cause-
discard
Do- do
a
I-
future war, but a real one, you've got to love that.
I just don't see how folk were giving this a 10 out of 10. Like if it's
It's because it's about the war.
I,
See
no,
if it was a
I
made
suspect
up story, I don't think it would have get near as.
it's the same. I suspect it's the same trap as I've forgotten the name of it.
Like,
Child of Light, where you could stick it on for 2 or 3 hours and go, yeah, that's great, and turn it off again. But if you actually sit and play through it, you realise, oh fucking hell, this is like 8 to 10 hours long, and it shouldn't be. It should be a couple of hours.
is it that long?
Aye,
Fuck! I thought it was a lot shorter than that.
and it's a real
I
slog.
can understand like maybe 2 or 3 hours, but that just sounds like a slog.
It is. I mean, right at the very, very end, one of the character dies, and that has a bit of emotional impact, but it's no worth the wait.
Aye.
It feels like they've taken. It feels like they've been cynical again. Is what it feels like. They've taken something that should have been is extremely high impact, and they've tagged a wee crappy puzzle game onto it,
You could have made something meaningful out of it.
and just pointed it and go cry.
Right, aye. Here's the cry moment.
cry Woodward. So avoid Valiant Hearts then.
I'll get it for £1 if you see it somewhere.
It's
But
shopping PS Plus at some point.
I found it more tedious than anything else.
So that takes us on to feedback then. Right, feedback. We got a lot this month, so I guess we'll just bash through them quickly. See what folk have to say. First question comes from Stu Anderson, who asks, given that Commonwealth Games start today, what's your favourite athletics video game?
Sonic. I've not played many.
Surely you played track and field.
I was about to say
Aye.
my first that me and my brother used to play constantly, and it caused proper physical fights. Was Track and Field 2. Track and Field 2 was great. But the thing I loved in Track and Field 2 as well was the crap Nez whistle noise that was coming from the crowd. It was like a... it just went... Woo! Woo! But Track and Field 2 had it had an arm wrestling one. Like an arm wrestling game. And
The most popular of Olympic sports.
It was great. But yeah, it was the first time I played one of them... what would you call that type of game where you'd have to hammer the button as fast
Button
as you
basher.
can?
Button
Is that
basher,
button?
Bush and basher, aye.
Bush
And
and
then I figure
Dashy
if I just sort
special.
of spasm my hand so it vibrates really quickly.
And then that served you well in later life as well.
But Track and Field 2, and then there's aquatic games, which
Aye,
I never really...
aquatic games is my one.
Yeah.
You're that or Tiny Toons Wacky Sports.
Aquatic games, I think when I was playing someone else's copy of Aquatic Games, but I saw James Pond and I was like, hey, James Pond. I put it on and it was sports. And
The best one in aquatic games is where you have to jump on the sponge.
Oh yeah, shit, yeah. The only one I remember is the one you have to run across the water.
Aye. And was there not one with a dolphin on a unicycle as well?
Oh, Jesus.
But the sponge one was well good.
Yeah, shit, that was good. You're totally bringing back loads of memories of aquatic games now.
What about yous? Athletics games?
Honestly can't remember playing one after Daley Thompson's Decathlon, which would have been about 3,000 years ago. Tell a lie, I did play Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, and I never liked it.
There was one I used to play on the Amiga. I can't remember the name of it. I remember you had a ski jump, and when you come off it, you had to wiggle the joystick, and if you did it fast enough, your guy went into space. Backflips up in space, and then we'd come down. I was trying to Google the name of it there, and I went to images, and it's just pictures of women's tits in computer games. I searched Amiga Olympics.
Was that not one of your bookmarks?
What is this?
I think it's something called Olympus something, because it's meant to be goddesses, so they're topless, obviously.
It's Olympics spelled with an X at the end instead of a CS.
There's Daley Thompson, no?
Hey!
Yes. What have you stumbled upon here?
Amiga Olympics.
So if anyone wants to see tits on Google, just
Amiga Olympics, Google images.
if you want to go the roundabout way.
Did you ever
16-bit
watch
tits.
porn on the Amiga?
No, I was about 6.
Aye, I didn't even know what porn was when I was in the Amiga.
I was older than you, I suppose.
Did you watch porn on the Amiga?
Oh,
How?
well, you put in the disc,
what
and
format?
it would be I suppose the equivalent nowadays would be watching a GIF, except not as good as a GIF. So it'd be 5 frames of action happening. I can
slow.
remember there was one where a lassie was giving a guy a blowjob, but it was obviously just
have to
taken.
loop that, wouldn't it?
It was just a loop of that, but it was clear that they didn't. They only had one photograph, so they just kind of moved upward into different positions. But the guy's penis was the wrong shape because they'd obviously hand drawn it in, so it just looked as if she was kind of stretching. Her suction was so good that she was just pulling.
Well, she just had it in her teeth and she was.
Aye.
So basically, when you got your first blowjob, you were like, "This is
That's
good,
nice.
isn't it?"
That's nice.
It's not even the right shape.
The Amiga, it was very different on the Amiga. Coincidentally, your last blowjob as well.
So Thomas asks, how does Gamewank feel about the interactive movie style of game, e.g. The Wolf Among Us, Catherine, etc.?
I enjoy them. I've played all the Walking Dead, played Wolf Among Us.
I think Catherine's a bit different because it has that sort of separate.
Catherine's more like cutscene splat with puzzles.
Yeah.
But you were saying you'd rather it didn't have the puzzle.
I'd rather play
element of it.
Catherine as just, sounds stupid, like a shit life simulator.
Well, I mean, this is the reason why. I mean, everyone starts playing Persona because they want to play a JRPG, but everyone keeps playing Persona for the life sim element.
Aye.
Of it. So if they just went
Keeping
and
up all
made,
your social
if they
links
just
and
went full on, made like a kind of
There must be something
that sort of
like that.
with
Must be.
that kind of Shin Megami Tensei art style.
Did I tell you the story about I know a guy who was playing Persona, and several years ago he broke up with his girlfriend because he cheated on her. And
With Persona.
With
no, not
cheating.
with Persona. But he was playing Persona, and then he was talking about how in the game you can cheat on your girlfriend. And he's like, I couldn't do it. And I was like, well, you tell me that you could cheat on your girlfriend in real life, but not do it in fucking Persona. He's like, there's a wee animation of her crying in her room when I do it in Persona.
And she's underage. It's not just she's greeting. No, that it's illegal to do it and all.
I'm sure anyone understands this, but there's things you can do to real people that you could just never do to your wife. You just never do that.
So the Wolf Among Us is that's like The Walking Dead.
Plays the exact same as the Walking Dead games. Aye.
See, I didn't enjoy the Walking Dead games, so
You might. I mean, is it because it's the Walking Dead? Was it because you weren't into that, or like did the story no interest you? Was it the gameplay? Was the trouble?
what gameplay?
You know what I mean? It's more like point and click. That's how.
Aye,
The thing is like I always
I think it was all
they are the
a
sort
little
of
of all of those.
they are
Aye.
sort of meant to be a kind of evolution of the point and click adventure game, but it's
Aye.
like there's not the puzzle element.
No.
Really, it's just kind of make a decision before.
It'd be
the
nice if
timer
there
runs
was
out.
puzzles. There is some things like, obviously there'll be certain things that will happen in the game if you make a certain decision. And I think there's one or two where it's like if you haven't done this, when you make that decision, this will only happen. But I mean, like last night when I finished episode 4 of The Walking Dead, I thought, right, well I want to rewind it and do the other decision. You can do that. You can just rewind the last wee bit.
Right.
And I thought, right, I'll go the other way. Exact same outcome.
No.
So that was a bit annoying because they just didn't matter. There was no point in giving you a choice there really because it amounted to nothing. That everything was still going to end up that way, which was a bit shite. But no, I do enjoy them.
There's a lot more pressure
The
on
art
those sort of
style
games as
of
well.
Wolf Among Us alone is gorgeous.
There's a lot more
Beautiful
pressure on
man.
those sort of games to have decent characters and decent
Aye.
writing I mean, I guess a lot of people are saying Walking Dead. There's a lot of people that really kind of got a lot out of Walking Dead. So
I really enjoy it. I've cried a few times.
I do think though that just because it's a game
Right
like that,
into
there's this sort of correlation where people thinking that all those games have incredibly written characters.
Aye,
Yeah.
I don't think they do. Really.
There's always-
The
there's
Walking
always
Dead was good.
duffels,
The
man.
Walking Dead was good, but I didn't think it had incredibly written characters.
No, it's just. But I mean, if you can
But
at least
that's what-
empathise with
Aye.
it, it works.
I think because
It
it's
doesn't
that
have to
kind
be-
of game, people just say that kind of thing because
Aye.
it almost
I think
goes
when
that's
you're
what
when
you
you
say,
have an
yeah.
active involvement in the decisions and stuff like that as well,
Aye.
it creates a slightly deeper sense of involvement in
Especially when it can either mean the
events,
death
which
or
creates a better
continued life of a character.
which
That happens a
helps
lot
your
with Walking Dead.
investment, but it helps your investment in what's going on. But I don't know. I just I can't really say much about it because I never got that far into Walking Dead. I should
It
probably
might
go
be
back.
that it's because
Well, I did
of
try
it.
to play it on the iPad and it was fucking dreadful.
It might be just because of the subject. Like I enjoyed The Wolf Among Us, and I had never read the comics that it's based on Fables. So I wonder if I was a fan of Fables, would I, like
be
because
better.
I've watched all the Walking Dead TV series,
Right. Okay.
but obviously the game's a lot different,
Aye,
different
aye.
people and all that. But I wonder if you've already got an idea of The Walking Dead, that you might not enjoy it because you're wanting the characters again. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
I enjoy the games. I don't think they're terrible or anything. I know some folk that fucking hate them, but
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That basically that style of game, I think.
But
it's no mad action. It's no. There are mad hectic moments, but they're few and far between. It's mostly just enjoying the story of what's happening and the fact that you're kind of dictating most of it.
I think the whole kind of idea, the genre of the interactive story like that is, I think it's good. Like I like it. I like the idea of it, and I think some of the criticisms aimed at it, like, oh, this isn't a game. This is just a. It's like, well, can it not just be what it is? And
Aye, Gone Home wasn't it a game?
but anyway, sorry, we'll move on to the next one.
You won a game.
Aye. Paul Victor Finch asks, Xbox One drops exclusive content. Is this a bad sign for Amazon TV service and Google TV? Would you buy a device like Google TV?
I don't know what Google TV is.
Never fucking heard of Google TV in my life. And I've never heard of Amazon TV service.
Amazon TV.
I download
no,
things
Amazon TV
illegally, Paul.
services-
I don't stream things for money.
Amazon TV services was what Love Film used to be.
Oh, right.
Oh no, what Love Film is now basically.
Aye.
And I think if you're subscribed to Amazon Prime, you get it in that package anyway. What was the first part of the question? Xbox One.
Drops exclusive content. Is this a bad sign for Amazon TV service?
Did they drop? This is
I think
a problem
Xbox are
asking.
just chucking TV out the window now.
Ah, right, okay.
They're basically coming back in everything they said.
Aye,
It's no fun. It's not even funny anyway. It's just a bit
a bit
sad.
tragic. Not tragic, but
Maybe they realised that most people only buying it for their telly.
aye. The
Who's gonna watch?
thing about those services is they're always a bonus. Like nobody bought I mean, nobody that was worth listening to bought a Wii U and then complained that it couldn't play DVDs, you know? It's like, or the same with the Wii as well.
Can I know?
You can sell yours when you get in the house.
I do remember that being said about the Wii, actually. Can I play DVDs?
The Dreamcast could play fucking VCDs and everything.
Phil Bickensale asks, just how big is Richie's dick?
Quite.
I don't know, Phil. I've
How's it going with the million dick thing? What we at?
I think we're at 728,000 supporters for Million
close.
Is it all or nothing then? Is it a million?
Million or nothing.
We can't see a bit. Can I see a bit of the shaft for 700?
How much for the head? 800,000 just for the head.
One cheek of the head, one side of the helmet. One cheek of the helmet.
Just the cleft, just a shot of the cleft. Can we see a ball? Even something else?
Do you have boss?
Maybe it wants
You've got boss as well. Is that fucking hell?
You were at the front of the queue and God was handing out cocks.
Anyway.
How big is it?
It's quite big.
I'm not going into this. Ask your mom.
Oh,
There you go.
Lads.
Sorry, Phil.
Aaron has asked us, what do you lot think about all the game delays recently? Are games being announced too early?
I've addressed this in the past, but I can keep it quite succinct. It's pretty much bullshit. A couple of years back, Nintendo adopted that approach where they'd only announce stuff sort of 6-7 months before it was due for release.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best way of doing it. The fact that there was fucking 2 years of agonising hype for Watch Dogs is the worst example in the other way. It's too long. It's like you're building your game up to something it's never going to achieve. And Watch Dogs, it was fucking average at best.
you can only watch that many gameplay trailers as well before you feel like you've just played it.
I should say I maybe shouldn't talk shit about Watch Dogs because I've not actually played it. But
I finished it.
Well, the amount of hype, it was never going to live up to the 2 years of hype in the
When I went and bought it, I knew it was like, right, we'll just see what this is. And it was like,
there are so many games out there as well that you go, when it does come out, you're like, I thought that was out already.
For triple A's,
seen it that many fucking
for
times.
triple A's as well. I'm not sure how much communication there is between the devs and the marketing department. It's all higher power, and I'm sure the marketing schedule set out
at the last minute a lot of the
Aye,
time.
well, with the development schedule and the market schedule will be running alongside one another.
I wonder if it's got anything to do. It probably has got nothing to do with it, but I wonder if it has got anything to do with how difficult it is to keep information top secret these days, as well.
And there's that new area now that's been created with Steam games, mainly Steam games of alpha and betas and early access games and things like that, where they've cottoned onto the idea that people's imagination, that their expectation of how good a game can be, there's money in that. They can sell. They can sell that wee bit of hype to people.
I did that with the Forest. I bought it before it even had the mode that I wanted, the peaceful mode, like without the cannibals.
You just have to look at the big Kickstarters like Star Citizen and even like whatever Double Fine. What was Double Fine Adventure even called in the
Broken
end?
Age.
Broken Age. Of course.
Oh, is that what that turned into?
Aye.
Alright, because I wonder what the fuck had happened to Double Fine Adventure.
It was Broken Age.
They've got another one. The what's his name? Fuck, I've forgotten his name. And I've forgotten the name of the game. So there we go. It's all gone.
Good. Gamewank.
Shit.
The Toilet Duck asks, you guys ever used PS4 remote play on the Vita? Any good? Love that feature of my Wii U.
Well, I just the Wii U is no remote play. You need to be in the same fucking room half the time for the gamepad to work. You can't get through a wall half the time. I tried. I keep saying half the time.
I can't get out of the room.
Hey, lads.
There you go, Phil. There's the answer. I tried Vita remote play a couple of years ago when we got here. Full Wi-Fi signal, PS4 sitting on standby at home. Didn't work. Didn't even connect. So there's your
Good.
remote play. Aaron says, not much of a topic of that, but can you get Richie to attempt a world record for tea cakes eaten in a minute?
We've not got any. Is it Tunnock's
Did you already
tea cakes?
attempt it?
Tunnock's tea cakes.
Tunnock's by the good people at Tunnock's. I'd be up for it. Like, I mean,
I'd like to see that.
And we're not filming it.
Aye, we are.
Aye, there are
Some-
3 other people.
Someday
in
we'll
this.
film it.
What is the world record for Tunnock's TK?
We should find out if Gamewank can.
Imagine that.
Imagine that Gamewank
World record holder
world record.
podcast.
Bragging rights.
I think you could do it, man.
I'm a world record holder. What'd you do? Mate,
It's 1,000 tea cakes.
Scottish Games Journal.
1,000. Jesus Christ! I was going to say like 25 tea cakes in a minute or something like that.
No, you do that.
Aye.
Sell yourself short.
It's unrealistic for you. Aye, 25 in a minute. One every 2.5 seconds.
And you
or something.
squash them all together, and
Make one big tea cake out them.
could you blend them?
We could just take you to the factory and you could breathe them all in like properly. Half the production line. Members of staff getting stuck in your teeth as well. MechaGamezilla asks, now that Yogscast have been outed as shysters, are Gamewank a shoe-in for this year's Golden Joysticks?
Well, we've not been nominated, so
What?
we could just go anyway. Though I was thinking.
Are you allowed to do that?
Well, we are previous nominees.
Me and Barry made it in last year.
If folk that aren't nominated for an Oscar still show up at the Oscars, so
I think they're invited.
are they though?
I think so.
Aye. We could maybe get into
Well,
the GMAs.
why are we not nominated anyway? Gamewank is bigger and better than ever. So what the fuck's happened?
I just don't know if tea cake world record is really a golden joystick material. Gamewank wasn't nominated. That's the important thing to remember. Tam McLeish was nominated,
Lads,
so that nomination will have transferred to video game.
It was the nomination was Gamewank brackets Tam McLeish. I seriously doubt the Golden Joystick nomination came from our E3 coverage.
Can we get him back?
It's too far gone.
Oh, Jesus.
Far gone. But you know, maybe 2014 is a lost cause, but 2015.
It's only July.
I know, but
This is just him building up for not giving you The Last of Us back. 2015 will make a go at it.
Let's Hug Bro asks, what does Richie think of the latest additions to the vibrant and hashtag colourful Sonic Boomcast?
What do you think?
I don't have many opinions on it.
Honestly,
Many? I don't
must.
have
I
many.
don't have any opinion, sorry. Apart from it just... I don't know.
Being great.
Percy. Did you like that, Percy?
Which one was Percy?
Which one was Percy?
Who's the tortoise?
Is he the
Terry.
Terry.
Terry
No,
the
I don't
Tor-
know what the tortoise is called.
There
Like
was,
salt.
There was Salty the Seaman.
The salt of the seaman fast.
Fast in the water.
He's initially sort of quite fast when he shoots out at the beginning, but he slows right down
I think it's all cold.
and he dies quite quickly.
As he pulls on your chest.
You gotta escape the sock.
Richie.
That is grim.
Let's Hug Bro also asks, any chance we could drop it down to 1,000 dick or maybe even couple hundred
I'm
dick?
not moving on this.
If we get 2 million, will you get it twice?
If you can give me 2 million, 2 million subscribers,
We're close. We're
I'll
not
be
close.
doing cartwheels down
10,000 dick then. 10,000 dick.
No.
10,000 dick.
10,000 dick.
10,000
We've
dick.
got like 5,500
10,000
subscribers.
dick.
That means we're half. No fucking danger.
Yes,
It's supposed
10,000
to be
dick.
good. This is for the good of Gamewank.
10,000 dick is confirmed by Richie.
I get my arse out for 10,000.
Fuck your arse. Your arse is out half the time anyway.
I'll take arse out at 10. Because when we have 10,000 subscribers, you're not going to want to do it, but you've agreed to it on the podcast. So there we go.
Full arse.
Million,
Full moon.
million dick, 10,000 arse.
10,000.
Will it have to be will we have to put it up on YouTube or something? How's that working?
I think we could put footage of it up, but I don't know if we
Do a
can
live
put your
stream.
actual arse on YouTube.
Kid Ridiculous asks, what's the worst or most notable thing you've found in a public lavatory?
Richie's phone number.
Well done. You've been waiting this entire record.
Is that true?
Yes. That's how he's met.
Aye.
For podcast fun. Cool.
I did.
I'm going to start doing it 10,000 hours in all the public toilets.
Did I ever tell this story? No, this years ago. I must have been about 16, and I was standing talking to my mum in the living room, and the phone rang, and I was like, "Oh, sad, don't worry, I'll get it." And I picked up the phone, and I was like, "Hello," and this timid voice at the other end just went, "Hi, I got this phone number from a public toilet. Is that okay?" And I just, so my mum's like, "Who is it?" And I went, "I think you've got the wrong number." And hung up. Who was that? It was just it's just a wrong number.
It was me.
So I'm glad my mum never answered that phone.
I like that they tell you that and they went, Is
that okay? That were, I swear that was the exact words.
Here's my address.
Oh, right, just give us a minute. I'll just transfer it to the upstairs line.
If your ma hears this episode, she's going to be furious that you didn't pass the phone over. David Black asks, still have a backlog of games in the PS3 to work through before I go to next gen. What should I not miss out? Depends what you've played, I suppose.
No, we can't really.
Demon Souls, obviously.
Aye, Demon Souls,
Last of Us.
Nier. Nier ago.
Yeah, Nier's good
Nier's
shout.
cracking. Binary Domain.
The superior version of the Zone of the Enders HD
Vanquish.
collection.
Yes, Vanquish. Aye.
I feel like what I would say would be really obvious. I mean, like one of my favourite games of last gen was Red Dead Redemption.
Aye. Cracking.
People always seem to talk about the end of Red Dead Redemption as if it's something special. Did something special happen?
I don't really talk about it, but
it spoil it.
No,
It's been out for a hell of a long time.
I know, but this boy might not have played it.
Ah, true.
But I would say that the ending probably wasn't as amazing as everyone made it out to be.
I loved it.
No, I really liked it. Don't get me wrong, but everyone, I was expecting something fucking mind blowing.
Which ending?
Was there
I
two
like the
endings?
second ending better.
Oh, I see.
Aye.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Look forward to that, mate.
I'm trying to think of more PS3 exclusive stuff.
Aye, stuff that's
Any of the Musso games, the one like both the Ken's Rage games, One Piece,
Brothers, which is Steam as well, but you could play it on PlayStation 3. It's a belter.
Journey.
Johnny's boring. What you could do is you could play the HD Shadow of Colossus and Ico,
Oh, yeah.
which are crackers.
Dark Souls.
I was going to say Dark Souls. Yakuza games, you.
Yes, there you
Yeah,
go.
Yakuza, of course.
Play all the Yakuza.
Stuart asks, which game character has the most out of control pubes?
Right, well, I spoke about that with him on Saturday, and we agreed Wario.
Is that a big W? Like,
Is that why?
mustache guy?
It would just be a
Is that why you
mess down there?
Is that why you met up to?
That's exactly why
You
we
had to
met
do
up.
it face to face.
I'd like to ask Richie because I know he has very strong opinions on pubes.
Richie.
Well, we were talking
Richie Morgan, Kurt Liston.
we were talking this before, and like, you know how Bayonetta's had all her hair cut off in the top. We think that hair must be coming from somewhere, so it's got to be Bayonetta, doesn't
Don't
it?
talk about her like that. Don't bring her into that filth.
Is Bayonetta her name?
Bayonetter.
Bayonetter.
Like corn now.
Oh, this is where it's going. do you know Janelli?
Bayonetta.
I think maybe Artorias. Because he's not. You know what I mean? It's not been a boy.
It's been a while since
Tens.
they've been away.
Oh, well.
Your man for Altered Beast. No?
What is the guy's name if you want Beast?
Walter.
Walter.
Walter Beast, Filtered Beast.
Water Beast. There's someone out there, unfortunately, whose name is Walter Beast. I feel really bad for that person. Mr.
He
Beast.
used to be a headmaster.
I'm not sure what my answer would be. Princess Peach.
bad. Did you not see the amiibo?
Aye, but
You can see the upper skirt, everything's fine on there.
you didn't can really, do you?
Under the wee pants.
Aye, maybe.
Jesus Christ.
What's wrong with you?
What's happening?
And she wears an underskirt, doesn't she? That's why
Oh.
her skirt's all puffed out.
Right. Well, it's starting to go.
A
Rosalina.
skirt full of pubes. To you, though, out of control pubes is even if someone has one pube that's out of control to you.
Are you anti-pube, Richie?
He likes to keep it clean, put it that way.
Oh, Jesus, let's not bring this up.
Does that make it look even bigger?
You brought it up on Twitter, a public forum. Get the pubes off.
So with pubes, man. That's what the pheromones are.
Oh, dear.
To answer
Oh, go
your
on,
previous,
say something.
to answer your previous question,
pubic hole.
Bayonet's name is Cereza.
Really?
Aye. Spoiler.
She must use a razor then if her name's. Is it because there's already that much stuff packed into your pants that the pubes
Make
are-
room.
It's just economy.
If you remove your pubes, you can get an air fold in it.
Jesus.
Did we get an answer there? Did we reach a conclusion?
We just talked
You
about
said
pubes.
Wario.
Out of control pubes.
Bayonet is the obvious answer, I think.
Bayonet. But they're perfect controls. You can make a dragon.
Your pubes.
I know,
Big crow eating God's face.
but... Alright, fair days.
Wario.
Wario.
The guy's a mess.
What about Waluigi?
Aye, what about Waluigi?
He's got the longest pubes. They're all straight.
The longest. Oh,
Oh,
It's not as much of a mess.
like
her
a,
dick looks like his dick looks like Cher.
So that's us for another month on New Gamewank. Thanks for tuning in, as always. If you want to keep up with us in the meantime, you can find us all on Twitter
At Gamewank.
and personally at...
Laszlo Panaflex.
Rye McLeod.
Nightmare mode go.
No Stopping Epoch. We're going to be doing another podcast again next month, so as always, if you have anything to speak to us about in the meantime,
Hey,
please
like
do.
and subscribe, guys. Million dick.
I know, we're very, very close on million.
Remember,
Dick, so
Richie is
please.
under no obligation to actually get his dick out.
Under no actual obligation.
What if we get 2 million subscribers? Two times our goal,
We'll keep
and then
We'll keep the subscribers.
And nobody's dick comes out. But here's someone else's dick. Here's Guy's dick.
We'll
It's
tape those
compensation.
together. Tape them all together.
Length.
Well, and like,
how does that
What?
work?
What would 3 dicks take? I mean,
I was more thinking the 4 of them all in the middle, like a throwing star or tire iron.
What's the name for that when you put your foreskin
The
or
oars
somebody
with
else?
kind of
Docking.
weird little branches attached to
We'll
Richie's trunk.
dock. We'll dock and then tape them.
We'll dock. Who's docking with who?
Surprise, we'll put on blindfolds and feel our way around. Well, everybody will know who's docking with Richie.
You,
Richie will dock.
We
with
could all
players.
die. 3 and 1.
aye, well,
New game, like.
yeah.
nice. Cracking. Come,
You're-
tune in next month for more docking shit.
Come for the game, stay for the batter.
Come for the docking, stay for the sounding.
What's that?
It's when you shove things down your knob.
Oh, what?